Hey everybody, Jimmy here with the Triple C Collective on this Turtle Tuesday, presenting a commentary track from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series from 1987. This is Season 1, Episode 4, Hot Rodding Teenagers from Dimension X. And let me say, this is a fun episode. The episode coming starts off like hot, comes in hot. We get the whole turtle van. They go back to Baxter's place from the previous episode. Go back to Baxter's place and they take all of his equipment. Donatello rips off the side of the turtle van and they start converting it into the turtle van that we all know and love, with the different guns and computers all over it. Uh, it's also got to note that like the way that they go about getting the van and all the equipment into it, I feel is completely backwards and really doesn't make any sense. They had in the episode they had the turtles pushing the van up the stairs as you would be like moving a couch to like an upstairs apartment or something like that. It's really weird. I don't understand why you would move the van up the stairs in order to like equip it instead of bringing all that equipment downstairs and doing it down there. But whatever, they do that. They do that nonetheless. They bring it. You see all the turtles, pushing it up there, and April's just like, I don't know why we're like doing this. It's wild. But we get the turtle van that we all know and love. They get all the computers and stuff in it. Um, Again, Donatello rips that side panel off, and that's kind of like crazy to see. Then we move back to Shredder and Krang and Bebop and Rocksteady and the Technodrome, and I just love seeing the Technodrome and like because they really just lean into like the like sci-fi-ness and stuff and like wackiness of it by like just giving you Shredder, Krang, Dimension X, all of this stuff like right off the bat. It's so much fun. But here, Krang is still wanting his body. He won't give any more like tech and computer or weapons to Shredder without it. Shredder's still like, but I'm still working on like trying to get like bodies and like other like mutation things right. Like, look at my punks, I'm trying to get these people. And he's talking about Bebop and Rocksteady, trying to make them like, I don't know, better villains and fighters for him, because so far they've always been thwarted by the turtles, and like all of his plans go to like hell and stuff. um and then Shredder decides to use the gateway portal to Dimension X to start pulling in new weapons to try and defeat the turtles. Krang is like, no, don't do that. You don't know what will come through. The turtle van, we cut back to the turtles. The van is done. Then they decide to drive it again. I don't understand this. Once they're finished setting up the van and everything, they then drive the van. April O'Neil drives the van down the stairs of the Baxter like apartment building thing that they were in, and they took all of his equipment from. Again, I'm very confused why they brought the van all the way up there when they should have just brought the stuff down. But anyhow, they bust through the door and destroy basically all of the stairwells coming down, driving the new and improved like turtle van and stuff. Leonardo does say that they need a 3-foot roof so he can still practice his like his sword and everything like that. Michelangelo, of course, is worried about the lack of a pizza oven in it, and then they just drive out. Get um, they get out and they start looking for Shredder and the Technodrome. We go back to Shredder and the Technodrome. The gateway is open. The Krang Stone Warriors and the neutrinos come through. Neutrinos seem to be just like partying teenagers from Dimension X, or as the episode is so correctly called, they've got hot rods, so they're hot rodding teenagers from Dimension X. Then the like turtles, as they're approaching where they think the Technodrome is, they see the neutrinos and their hot rods come out and they start chasing after them. While they are chasing after Krang. We get a cutback, like the turtles start chasing after the neutrinos. We get a cutback to Krang explaining who the neutrinos are, how they don't participate in any fights. They just want to party and have a good time. Krang is also reunited with his Stone Warriors, and he's all like, "Don't look at me. I can't have you guys see me without my body." And he all talks really weird. I love it. I love it. It's so wacky. Krang has one of the craziest voices ever. Um, and I don't know. This whole episode's like really wacky, and it's just great. It's just so much fun, and it's just so cool. So Krang reunited with explains the neutrinos to Shredder. He's reunited with his Stone Soldiers, which they've actually just released recently, like NECA toys and stuff of that. I actually didn't pick those up, but you can find them out there. I believe you can even find them in like some stores like Target and Walmart and stuff like that. Like some of those things are starting to pop up now. I know that stuff was like really, really scarce for a while, but now they seem to be coming in stores. If you miss the like pre-orders from the NECA website or like wherever, Entertainment Earth, Big Bag Toys, wherever you pre-order your toys or collectibles from. Beside the point, then the turtles catch up with the neutrinos. They jump into their cars. One of the neutrinos like shoots Michelangelo and Leonardo like off their off with like one of the spring ejection seats. It's like it's a classic gag from like many different cartoons and stuff, and it was really great seeing it there. Another one is like overtaken by Raphael and Donatello, and eventually they find out that they're all on the same side. We're like not actually enemies, but trying to figure out like to how to stop Krang and Shredder, and the neutrinos are just trying to figure out how to get back home, because they don't really want anything to like be here to do with in our world or anything like that. So like it's neat little stuff. But then there's a little side joke, like as Donatello and Raphael were trying to take over one of the neutrino cars or make it land, Donatello scratches his shell up against the wall, and Michelangelo just comes up. It's like, here, just let me get some little wax on here, and we'll make it all better and stuff. And it's a turtle wax joke, and I don't know. I found it to be very funny, but I don't know. I also really love this show, and like some of my like the show started some of my first fandom into like loving like animation and cartoons, and eventually getting into like comics and stuff. Like it all kind of starts here with this show for me. So I love it. I love it. I love every little bit of it. I have absolutely thoroughly enjoyed all of the rewatching that I've done. This is only like the fourth episode though, with out of 10 seasons, with so many more episodes to come. The once they're all like settled, the turtles and the neutrinos all know that they're on the same side. The neutrinos explain Dimension X and all the war and how they just don't want to be a part of it, and like they all really start to see that they're all a part of like the same thing. The turtles take the neutrinos to like an arcade, and that's where like this explanation is, because they're like bonding over, oh yeah, like the neutrinos are like, wow, we just thought you guys were a bunch of like square dweebs or whatever, and that you guys didn't know how to have like a good time or party. But they take them to an arcade, which is like universally a great time, especially in the 80s for young people. I mean, I don't know, I still remember going to the arcades in like the early 90s a little bit, so like that stuff was really fun. I don't know, I agree. So they're there, then they get attacked by the Stone Warriors, and that kind of explains like the war a little bit more. We get that reinforced by it, and the Stone Warriors like attack them at this like clown arcade, and the neutrinos and the turtles escape. As they are escaping, the Stone Warriors also release a chaos weather machine, because of course they would have a weather machine, and that's how they're gonna bring an end to like the city and the turtles and everything like that. um Again, like I said, this episode's really wacky, and I'm here for it. I don't know if everybody else is, like, as I'm like talking about it and stuff, but I absolutely love it. It's so much fun, it's so great, it's wonderful, it's wonderful. So then they release the the weather machine is released. The neutrinos explain who Krang is, that he's a warlord, and that he got banished to apparently this dimension because Michelangelo taught, like, in the episode previous, told his turtles about a talking head, and the neutrinos know that he is just a talking brain. I'm sorry, a talking brain that needs an android. Will eventually get an android body. Excuse me, from Shredder and stuff. But yeah, and so Michelangelo is like, yeah, I saw that, and like, so the neutrino, so now the turtles believe Michelangelo. They just thought he was like, a party dude and being crazy, but it's true. There is a talking brain named Krang from Dimension X that is teamed up with the Shredder, and it's another reason of why the neutrinos and the turtles need to be friends, working together, or at least allies working together. Then they get into the turtles, and the turtles and the neutrinos get into the technodrome, and then we have like that last final act, like, battle between them, and like the music is great. Like, I still say that the intro music to this show, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's so good. It's one of the best opening theme songs, I think, like, out there in cartoons. Like, I'll put it up against anything. I still love it. I'm sure there are plenty of other like mentions, but for me, like, this is up there in like the tippy top of them. I absolutely love it, but I also really love the turtles, so I'm a little biased on that. So they get into the Technodrome, then they have the battle with like Krang and like Bebop and Rocksteady, and they all kind of battle it out, and I really love like the battle music that they have. It's very like 80s synth. I didn't realize like how much I really loved like the battle music of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff, but it's like very important, and I just love every single thing about it. The Stone Warriors eventually, in their battle, Donatello tells Michelangelo to throw some lubricant on the floor, and Michelangelo and Donatello get behind the Stone Warriors and just basically push them through the open Dimension X gateway. And that's how the Stone Warriors get through there. Once they're through there, then the hot rodding teenagers from Dimension X hop into one hot rod and go back to Dimension X, and they decide to, fight back against Krang and like do all that. They decide to like stop like just partying, but trying to find like true freedom for like their other people there, so that they can enjoy the party for once, or for them. And like, so like, it was really nice, it was really great. And then the Stone Warriors get through, as they take, because like I said, the neutrinos only take one of their flying hot rods from Dimension X. The turtles hop into the one that was left behind. Leonardo jumps out, cuts the weather machine in half, ends the terrible weather that is now like just started snowing and throwing like just blocks of ice, not even like hail balls, but like big blocks of ice that you would use like an ice pick to like chip away at or whatever. All right, actually, ice blocks that you could probably use to make an igloo is probably a better way to describe them. But yeah, those things are just falling, taking out, cars and like, pieces of cement of like ground and stuff and everything. It's wild. But Leonardo, does the good thing, cuts it in half, and ends the crazy weather that they're having because it's snowing in June in New York, which is wild. We cut back to Shredder. Shredder finally agrees to Krang to finish up the android body so that this body can destroy the turtles, and Krang can continue to siphon like weapons to Shredder from Dimension X and that portal. Then we cut back to April O'Neil reading the Turtles, or reading Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo a bedtime story before they go to bed, and Leonardo comes like wiping off his blade and then sheathing it, and says that they are going to be on the hunt for they are going to be on the hunt for the Shredder, and that's like the end of the episode, really. Again, we get. I still don't understand why they made the turtles push the van up the stairs as opposed to just taking all the computer stuff down that way. They do make a joke though, in trying to bring the van up. Oh, why didn't we just use the elevator? Donatello says the van didn't fit in the elevator, which is funny. Uh, but like, I'm still very confused on that. I mean, I love this episode. That's just like one thing I just don't understand. I don't understand why they did it. I also didn't realize like I mean, the turtles have always been strong because they train, they practice, and all of that stuff. They also have like the ooze or the mutagen that like change them into the turtles, that helps like with their strength and like intelligence as well. But like, I didn't realize that they were strong enough to just like peel the side of a van like it's a can being cut open by a can opener. It's just with complete ease. Donatello just rips it, and like, it's just like, whoa, Donatello, I thought you did machines, not steroids, dude. I thought that was Raphael's thing. I'm kidding. That's probably a bad joke. But like, no, for real though. It's like, it was one of those things where I was like, huh. Like, you always think that they're just like powerful in the sense that they know how to fight with ninjutsu and all of that they've learned from like Shredder or Splinter, sorry, and everything. And so it's like, I don't know. It was really interesting to see that. This is actually, I really don't have much more to say on this episode. I found the title of the episode very funny, Hot Rodding Teenagers from Dimension X. But it's true, they use those hot rods and stuff throughout the episode, and it's really great. Those teenagers and the turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Teenage Neutrinos, they all become friends over playing some arcade games and some pinball. And that's the best way for anybody to bond, right? Like, over some video games, pinball, whatever. So I don't know. Again, this is I'm telling you to watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series from 1987. I'm telling you to watch episode 4, Hot Rodding Teenagers from Dimension X. I love this show. I really think you guys should. If you're not already watching it along, if you're just like watching these, that's cool. But I really think you should try and find it. Again, I own the DVD of it, so I've been watching it on DVD. I know you can buy it on Amazon digitally. You can probably still find DVDs if they still have them in store or online, or even second use like books or like movie stores, if those kind of stores are still around you. This is Jimmy with the Triple C Collective presents commentary track for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the animated series from 1987, season 1, episode 4, Hot Rodding Teenagers from Dimension X. Definitely a watch. Thanks. Have a great day. Cowabunga!